Have you realized how young people are totally absent in certain spheres of the economy? Almost every other day there's a new startup emerging, but most of these are limited to either tech products and services, fashion, agriculture, etc. But you rarely see young people mainstreaming mining, wildlife, or any of the proven industries. I would say that we run into tech and services because of their low startup and running costs. But then, ladies and gentlemen, today I had an epiphany on something that I've been keenly following. Those who study supply chain and management, this is gonna be a little interesting. I want to talk about logistics. Confirm, there are very few young people in this line of business. If there are any, half the time it's an inherited business or they're a third party. Of course, I attribute this lack of interest in the industry to simply being realistic. Honestly, given 50,000 US dollars, a young person would think of a million ideas before landing on buying a haulage truck. That's just simply being realistic. But then guess what? The next African millionaires are going to emerge from this part of the economy. Nigerian billionaire Aliko Dangote says the next generation of African millionaires will emerge from agriculture and food industry. Number two, the entertainment industry. He attributes this to the fact that Africa, as we know it, will double its population in 15 years. Bafundi. And all those people will need to be fed. And obviously, since they are young, they will need to consume entertainment. So as all of this is happening, think value chain. Goods will need to be transported. And while we're still at it, what are your thoughts on establishing, a private railway network in Zimbabwe? I really need your engagement on this one. Of course, something that will really shock you. DM your thoughts. So, ladies and gentlemen, to further assert the viability of my notion, let's talk a little about the AfCFTA. March 21, 2018, in Kigali, Rwanda, 54 African states signed the African Continental Free Trade Area. This agreement will create the largest free trade area in the world. And the overreaching objective behind the AfCFTA is the elimination and reduction of tariff and non-tariff barriers amongst the 54 countries that agreed to be members of the bloc. This is going to be done by providing the single market for goods and services, facilitated by movement of persons in order to deepen economic integration and prosperity. Did you see something here? This basically means that under this charter, industry players are presented with eliminated cost, yet faced by an expanding market. One would be able to transport goods from, say, Egypt to South Africa with minimum border cost. So this charter is said to have come into effect the first day of 2021. But obviously it didn't. African leaders, Anyways, let's blame that on COVID. But my point is, this is one of the best things that could ever happen to our generation, Kunoko Africa. But over some, young people are not in that space. So kanapana ni plan ya mtu anasema konyeti, hit me up. I've been on this issue for quite some time, and I believe I could make a good partner. This takes me back to 2019 at the Youth Endeavor. Minister Mthuli Ncube said, as a young entrepreneur, you must find your personal niche, stay in that corner, and be known for that one thing, such that when the door finally opens, you are the first one to travel. Now my question is, do we have a young person in the logistics corner? Again, Tadi, the issue is to do with its startup intensiveness. But we're planning, boys. We can't be crybabies forever. And guess what? Earlier today, I came across the Logistics Performance Index, the LPI. This year data from 160 countries, and guess what? Zimbabwe is number 152 out of 160. So literally, if this was in primary school, we'd be sitting in group 6, and you know what that means. We're already competitive on quality of produce in agriculture. Obviously, not from food. But then in order to be cutting edge, we need to improve on our LPI. Just look at these 4 things. I won't even talk about access to finance for now. Just look at this. We need to improve our LPI. So ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, young people cry foul of being marginalized economically. And this is a small mfuiranyana that require you and I to strategically position ourselves such that when the African free trade come into play, we'll be standing firm, ready to serve our motherland, and obviously in the process, serve our bank accounts. Right, so ladies and gentlemen, if you found this interesting and intriguing, let's engage. I want to have a conversation with you. My DMs are open. And let's not forget words by the wise Father Zimbabwe. This country will never die. Young people will serve it. Let's rise to the occasion and serve our motherland. I thank you.